You know, the dating scene these days is very difficult. I remember years ago, it's been a lot of years since I was in that position, dating, trying to find someone you wanted to spend time with. I know that it's that much more difficult and harder to find any quality man or any quality woman out there. But, you know, one thing to consider as you're getting involved that way, and women are like wild horses emotionally. They need corrals and fences, boundaries. They need red lines. You know, the nice guy always finishes last. You need to set up those red lines and boundaries and what you can and can't do. But before you get into any of that, before you date anybody seriously, of course, you need to focus on yourself. Fix yourself first. Make sure that you're above reproach. You must do the right thing in all situations. So you can't have a problem with anger, jealousy, porn, drinking, gambling, spending money unwisely, obsessions with social media, video games, spending endless hours watching sports. You must do the right thing at all times. You know, the reason I bring this up is one of my sons just got done with a kind of a crazy relationship, kind of the first that he's really had, and it was like a solar flare. It flared out really quickly, and then it was like gone. And he told me, I don't know if this is true, but he told me that he had, like, between her and him, 9,000 texts in 10 days. Quick relationship. Like, that's gotta be an exaggeration. I mean, that's 900 texts a day. You're awake 10 hours a day, that's 90 an hour. That's just incredible, and shows total unrestraint. You know, I think one of the things that he was doing that I said maybe we should do differently is, number one, setting boundaries. But yeah, she was asking him to pick her up for school, you know, pick her up for lunch, take her to lunch, have her come to our house to print out her homework, and doing all this stuff that she was just super needy, dependent on him and what she expected from him. So I think it was from the very day one, it was dysfunctional. You know, what should he have done? You know, set up some boundaries. Say, you know, I can text or talk to you for, you know, half hour every day after I'm done with school, after I'm done with work, maybe from 5 to 5:30. You know, and I can't. Also, I'm not going to tie myself down to one person. I'll be dating other people, just to let you know up front. Because if you're in high school, I think the best thing you can do is date in groups. Date a number of people, not get involved with just one person. One of my other sons, he had a very serious relationship through most of high school, and so he felt like really kind of missed out on what options there were for him, and what the market was like. So, you know, women, I hate to tell you this, but women will test you. They'll try to push your buttons emotionally. They'll try to trap you into becoming emotional. You know, these dramatic scenes you see on movies and TV where two people are yelling back and forth, a couple. That's dysfunction. That if you get into that state where you're emotional, you've lost. It doesn't ever do any good to get emotional with a woman. That's their domain. That's their space. You will never win with becoming emotional. And it's not about winning and losing. It's about making or creating a long-term relationship. So, you know, why is it that they do that? Why do they test you? And they definitely do. What are they looking for? Number one, they need to feel safe and secure, that you're the right choice. They need to know that you're strong mentally, emotionally, physically. And if they choose you as a lifelong partner, they need to know that you are able to stand up to those challenges in life and not become a big bag of emotional crap. If you can't handle her emotions, how are you going to handle the stress in life? You know, throughout your life together, what would you do if she got cancer? What would you do if you lost your job, or if she lost her job? What would you do if you lost a son or daughter? They died for some reason. Would you start drinking to kill the pain? Would you go into some death spiral of self-defeating behaviors, which would remove you from your ability to be a provider for your family, emotionally, mentally, and most importantly, monetarily, where you're not able to provide anymore? Or are you strong enough to stand in that fire of pain and suffering and continue moving forward, continue going to work, even though you're experiencing pain like you've never felt before? You continue to exercise, you don't seek out to reduce that pain with drugs or alcohol. Can she trust you? That's why she's testing you. In addition to that, more dating advice: if she has a body count, meaning she has been with more than one man sexually, or any man, or a single man, move on. She will never be able to bond with you. She will always compare you with that previous relationship. You will never measure up. It would be better that you stay single and be with a woman that has a body count, which is very hard these days to find someone like that. I just want to share a quick story about a friend that was with one of his girlfriends. And she was telling a story of a previous relationship where she had asked this young man to take her from Salt Lake City to California, so a huge long drive, like 10 hours or more, depending on traffic. So to take her to California, and she didn't really say why until they got about an hour or two into the trip, and she said, "Hey, yeah, thanks, for taking me down here, California. I'm gonna spend time with a boyfriend." Unbelievable. And so my friend was listening to this story and said, if that had been me, I would have immediately turned the car around and driven back to Salt Lake. He's absolutely right. There is no reason for you to be treated like that. And guess what she said after hearing his response? She said, "And if you would have done that, you probably would have kept me." You have to have emotional, physical boundaries. Don't be a doormat. Don't be walked on. You have to have two independent people working together in life. You don't want a codependency kind of relationship where one person is being reliant on the other to survive. So women will always test you to see if you're emotionally and mentally strong. Prepare yourself by having clear expectations and boundaries. Use logic, reason, rational thought, and don't ever use emotion. They will beat you at that game all day long. That is, like I said, that is their domain. Be prepared to walk away. If you've got a heated conversation and she's getting very upset, say, "Honey, I can see that you're very upset by this conversation. Let's call a timeout. Let's pick it up in the morning. I'm going to go for a walk, but you need to make the break. If she continues to bring it up, you need to walk away and leave. There is no reason for you to take on emotional abuse and to get emotional back. It will just lead to bad results. So, you know, women are like emotional wild horses. They need corrals, fences, boundaries, red lines. They need to know you're stronger than their emotion. To be happy, the best path is not to be the nice guy, which all men want to do, fulfill every desire and need, but to define those things that you can and can't do, and to be upfront and honest, have boundaries,